He said yoga is swatantrata. It is empowering the individual to find, to seek, to find and sustain the best that we can do, and from that solid base to be able to go deeper. That his vision was that yoga essentially is an adhyatmika sadhana which sets you free, leave alone kaivalyam.
Namaste. Welcome all to the very first Indica Yoga Utsav that is happening in Mysuru. Today I have with me Srimati Nrithya Jagannathan, who is Director of Krishnamacharya Yoga Institute from Chennai. To begin with, how are you feeling that the very first Yoga Utsav is happening in the Karma Bhumi of Sri Krishnamacharya?
It's a pleasure and a blessing to be here because this is where Krishnamacharya lived and taught for many years under the patronage of Krishnaraj Odayar IV. And to have a festival in this city is very special, and the fact remains that Krishnamacharya is credited with the revival of yoga in modern times, and through him, three of his major students, Shri Pattabhi, Shri B.K. Sangar, and his own son, Shri T.K. Desikachar, who was my teacher. Okay. So the three major streams of yoga originate here in Mysore. Also Srimati Indra Devi, who was one of Krishnamacharya's early students during the palace. And so in many ways this is the heart of modern yoga.
So why is Sri Krishnamacharya important in this modern times for yoga? Because we all know yoga since a decade ago, yoga is having a revival around the globe. So why is he important in this modern times?
See, the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandram itself was established by Shri Desikachar as a tribute to his father. It was established primarily as a center for yoga therapy. And Krishnamacharya was very unique in that he was a scholar, he was a Vedantin, he was a yogi. He had a very great proficiency in all the Shastras, but he was also very aware of the need for yoga in the lives of everyone, and he made it his life's mission that the benefit of yoga must be accessible to everyone. And so his role, I would say, is in bringing yoga to the individual, that you have the shastras, you have the practices, you have variety of disciplines, lot of niyamas are needed, but not everyone can comply with all the niyamas, not everyone can follow the path of being a yogi. And so as someone who stood in the middle and who was able to adapt from the tradition to what is needed, and he said without good health, nothing you can achieve of the Purusharthas. Absolutely. And therefore his role in bringing yoga and yoga chikitsa, which is highly adapted methods of teaching yoga to the individual based on what they can do and not based on what they should do, and little by little building up their capacity, improving health. I think this is a very key area that Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandram has been working towards, carrying forth the teachings of Sri Krishnamacharya and Sri Desikachar.
You said Acharya wanted to take the yoga to the individual. So what yoga meant to him?
See, very simply put, he has spoken a lot, he has written a lot about yoga. But one thing that he has said stands out. He said yoga is swatantrata. It is empowering the individual to find, to seek, to find and sustain the best that we can do. And it is something that empowers from within without making you dependent on anything outside. And therefore to develop sustainable state of health, harmony, wellness, and from that solid base to be able to go deeper. That his vision was that yoga essentially is an adhyatmika sadhana which sets you free, leave alone kaivalyam. See, kaivalyam, as the Shastra says, is the ultimate goal. But here and now, how can we live a complete life, a contented life, without becoming prisoners of our choices?
It's like a journey that you take towards Kaivalyam.
Finally, that might be the destination. Of course, so many things come together. Your effort, Ishvara Sankalpa, Ishvara Anugraha, all this will happen. But for that, there has to be a sadhana.
Exactly.
And that sadhana, he was very particular, must be one that sets you free, that does not make you a prisoner of the sadhana itself. And in that sense, yoga as swatantrata, I think, stands apart as one of the most beautiful ways of envisioning yoga.
What according to you will be key takeaways from the very first Indica Yoga Utsav?
Indica has been in many ways, I think, a pioneer in bringing together people, very much needed in the domain of Indian knowledge systems. I think a big problem we are having is of some sort of a discord or infighting or conflict within specific stakeholders, you could
So
say.
it's like people were in silos.
In silos and not interacting, refusing to interact, lot of conflicts. In some ways, I think what Indica is doing through its through the overall platform, through all its verticals, and specifically Indica Yoga, is fraternizing, that bringing the community together, representing teachers, traditions from across India, and showcasing strength. Rather, while there can be diversity, that is okay, but amidst the diversity, what we are looking at is only one common thread of thought, and what yoga should bring us to is the same. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
path you follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as we evolve to be the best versions of ourselves as humans and to embrace our humanity. And I think in that sense, the very first theme for this festival is Maitri. So cultivating the bhava of friendliness, of compassion, I think much needed in these times. And it is only through such sangha, satsanga, that one can gradually take this message in small ways. No, the ripple will spread. But I think it's a much needed first initiative where the spotlight, without being controversial, is taken off politics but put on yoga
itself,
traditions, yoga practitioners, yoga sadhana, and sadhakas. I think that coming together is very important.
So it's like everyone are coming for one
One-
Shrestha
yeah,
cause. That
yes.
is one very supreme cause of yoga. Okay. Thank you so much, Nrithya ji. It was very pleasure talking to you, and I am also a follower of yoga. To be very specific, I did yoga during my pregnancies and or after that also. So I'm seeing the difference of, you know, a new mother who's not practiced yoga or a mother who's practiced yoga. I'm seeing that differences certainly in my kids also. So this is a very huge message that you have given about, you know, what Acharya thought about yoga, why is he important in modern times, and how did he simplified something as big as, you know, a vata vriksha. He just
Yes,
simplified it as one small tale ole. So this is what is need of the hour, I believe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Namaskaram.
interacting.